it is Thursday, and I've decided that I'm going to do a little bitty reading vlog for the last couple of days of the month where I try to read buzzword books. So the buzzword this month is like, and I actually just finished my first book for this reading vlog, which was Charlotte Welsh Likes to Win. This is a like chick lit book. It's chick lit contemporary, I guess, but it's about this woman, Charlotte Welsh, as you might imagine, who decides that she's going to run for Senate in her home state of Pennsylvania after living in Silicon Valley and running a tech company for however long. She's like 47, I think, when the book starts. I don't know how long she's been doing that, but it really details like her marriage problems with her husband and also like this big secret that she's been keeping from him. He had previously had an affair, which you know about pretty much the whole book. And so they're like on a rocky road back to recovery from that. They have 3 daughters that are all under the age of 6 because they had twins through IVF, and then they naturally conceived when she was 43, which is crazy. I know it happens, but it sounds insane to me. But anyways, that's the book. That's what's going on with it. I like it, or I liked it. I will say it's one of those like political books that is not as heavy-handed as it could have been with referencing Donald Trump, but it was written in 2018. It definitely references a president who was elected in 2016 and describes Trump in certain aspects. And then the guy she's running against in Pennsylvania for Senate is like, she's sort of equating to like someone who has power because of Trump, but also she says later that he's been like the incumbent Senate guy for like 30 something years. So I didn't know you could be in the Senate that long. I don't know what the term limits are, but anyways, it was good. I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars. It was fine. There were definitely parts that made me like feel a little emotional, but then also overall, it's just not the type of thing that I like to read typically, but I am glad that I read it. That's that. I was glad that it didn't feel as heavy-handed as I feel like it could have felt with some of the like political messaging, but I will tell you, it's a very like left-leaning liberal book. So if that's not your political view, I don't think you would enjoy it. And that is my political view, so it's fine, but I also don't love being in a circle jerk, to be honest with you. So it's, you know, it was fine. But the other things that I have on the docket, I suppose, I have a sci-fi, which is called Machines Like Me by Ian McEwan, which I believe is an alternate history sci-fi. I don't exactly know what the sci-fi part is, besides that it's just alternate history, which I think is a subgenre of sci-fi, but it's set in the 80s in England, but in a world where England lost the Falkland Wars, which if you don't know what that is, I don't know a ton about it, but they're called Las Malvinas in Argentina, and Argentina still considers it their own territory, but there was a war, I guess, in the 80s, I didn't know that, where apparently England won, so they're technically an English territory off the coast of Argentina. Again, Argentina doesn't recognize that, or at least the people of Argentina don't recognize that as a thing, which I think is very interesting. I had not heard of it until I studied abroad in Argentina. If you don't know this about me, I studied abroad in Argentina in 2017 for a semester, and that's how I learned about Las Malvinas, and that's how I learned that they're called the Falklands in England, but they don't call them the Falklands because I believe it's named after somebody who's English. So anyways, that's on the docket. And I also have, gosh, what is it called? Just Like Home, maybe, by Sarah Gailey, which I believe is a haunted house book. And I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that one. I did read Upright Women Wanted by Sarah Gailey, and I really enjoyed it. I read that back in December, but I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this one. I haven't really heard anything about it. I remember hearing about it, but I don't remember if the reviews were positive or negative or somewhere in between. So yeah, those are the 2 other books that I have to read. I have 2 days to read them because on Sunday I'm starting my September reading, and I'm planning on doing a vlog a week because that's just a really good way to get video content up, and I want to get back to posting regular videos. So that's what I'm doing right now. I just went through my closet and separated out some things that I don't think I'm gonna wear for the next month because, again, we're moving. If you missed my last video, I talked about it in there, but we are moving, and we're moving in about a month. But the last time we moved was a couple years ago. We moved from Arkansas to Missouri, and that was kind of a big move. So we rented a U-Haul truck, and we had like a timed arrival because we hired a crew to help us unload our furniture in Missouri, which actually ended up being so necessary because we have my parents' old, like really heavy leather couches, and our house, it was built in 1900, the house we live in, 1905, somewhere around there, the house that we live in right now that we're renting, the rooms are smaller than, like, it's not open concept at all. Like, every room is like very cut off. So they had to carry the couches like halfway up the stairs and then reroute them downstairs again at an angle to get into the living room where they are. So to avoid that, we hired a moving crew. We will again hire a moving crew to get our stuff out of our house, and then we're probably gonna pay to have it put in, because frankly, it's expensive, but it's not like that expensive when you consider like the cost of we're buying a house. So like we already put in so much money that we're like, we can afford to have people move our couches, we'll be fine. And it's occurred to me that the bed that we have, I don't know how it's gonna get out of here, because we like it's an IKEA bed, so we built it, but I don't really want to unbuild it. But hopefully it'll fit the door. I don't know, we'll find out. But long story long, or short story long, I guess, we are moving, hopefully for the last time for like a while. Like, hopefully at least 5 years, if not at least 10 years before we have to move again. If we even do, maybe we'll live in the house forever. The house we bought, I don't want to talk too much about it, but it was built in the 70s and was only owned by one family. And the seller actually is moving in with her kids. That's like, she's an elderly woman, and that's why we're moving in. But I'm happy about that, because it means that it's been like updated for people to live in it, but it's not been like renovated. And I'm sorry if this is your interior design style. I don't think it really is anyone's anymore, but like the gray vinyl flooring and the gray walls, it doesn't have any of that, which I am so excited about. It's very pretty. It's a cute house. I'm excited to live in it. I'm gonna have a library, because they have like 2 separate living room spaces, because it's a split level. And so the downstairs living room space is gonna be my library. And I'm very pleased with that idea. So at some point I will maybe do like room transformation videos, or like a library setup video of some kind. I don't know how in depth I'm gonna go with like renovating it. I'm gonna try to do the DIY built-ins hack that I've seen people do, where they use Billy bookcases. So we'll see how that goes. If I do that, I probably won't film the process, because that would be very stressful, but I will probably film like a before and after and like talk through what I did. And then link the video that I'm gonna follow if I do that. So she'll explain it to you, because I don't want to. But anyways, that's what I did tonight. I separated out the clothes that I'm gonna wear for the rest of the month, or for like the next month. So that way Matt has been packing boxes when he works from home. That's what I was talking about. We started packing already, because the last time we moved, we didn't have anything packed for the most part until like the day before we moved. And it ended up being really stressful. Like, we didn't pack anything in the kitchen. So the morning of our move, it was me, my husband's mom, and his sister desperately trying to pack all of our dishware. So my husband's just been doing it, because I think he knows that like I will put it off. And also he has a job where he works from home a majority of the time, and his job is like very task-based and then very meetings-based. So when he's not currently doing a task or participating in a meeting, he can kind of like float around and has some leeway there, which, contrasting with my job, if I'm not working, I'm not getting paid, because I work on a billable schedule, so I have to bill a certain number of hours to make money. I hope that makes sense. If you're not a lawyer, just look it up, I guess. I don't know. I didn't know about it until I got my first job as a lawyer, and then I was like, oh, this is how we make money? Strange. But so he has been doing that during the days when he works from home, and he's going to work from home again tomorrow. So he asked me yesterday if I could do it either yesterday night or tonight. And then yesterday I had a really long and stressful day at work, so I didn't want to do it. But tonight I was like, I'm going to do it for him. So I've separated out the clothes that I'm not going to wear for the next month, and hopefully he'll pack them if he wants to. If he doesn't have time to, then we'll just pack them this weekend, and that won't be that big of a deal. But it'll just be nice having like things done. He's been texting me during the day like, what else can I pack? What else are we not going to use for a month? Which I love. So anyways, Murphy's with me. I just finished that book. I will probably start, I'm probably going to do Just Like Home next, because I have a library book for that. And then the Ian McEwan book I have on Everand, which means that it doesn't expire. But it affects the number of books I can take out while I have it, I think. I don't really know. So I'm going to do that, and then I will let you know shortly how I'm feeling about whatever I read next. Good morning. It's Saturday morning. It's like 9:30, I think. Maybe it's closer to 10 now. I was up in bed for a little bit just hanging out, but I've come down. I've made my coffee. And I'm here to check in because I finished Just Like Home. Is that what it's called? By Sarah Gailey. I loved this book. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust this chair. I loved this book. I think I'm giving it 5 stars. I know, okay, here's the thing. Based on mixed reviews, I know that it's not everyone's favorite. A lot of people that I follow in like the bookish community on Goodreads DNF to this book. So that can be your warning, but it is a like haunted house book. It's about this girl, Vera, or woman, I guess, whose mother is dying, and she hasn't been back to her childhood home since she was a teenager. And her mom calls her and is like, you need to come home. You need to get the house ready because I'm dying. And so Vera's like, okay, fine. I'll go home. I'll get the house ready. I'll sell it when you die, whatever. I'll go take care of you while you're dying. And she and her mom immediately right off the bat have like a terrible relationship. Like her mom is mean to her. She's not allowed to call her mom. She has to call her by her name, which is Daphne. And there's this man living in the like garden shed of their house that they've converted into like a rentable property. And he's... Murphy, come on. Sorry about that. I had to let my dog out. But there's this man living in the rental property thing that they have on there. And his name is James Duval. And we immediately don't like James. We don't trust James. Something's wrong with James. But also, like, as Vera's getting back into this town, it's very clear that the people of the town do not like her. And so there's something happening where, like, nobody likes her family. And we know that something happened with her dad a long time ago. I thought the type of thing that happened was pretty obvious the whole time, but I'm not going to tell you because you don't find out until partway through the book. But the thing that it was, I was right about part of it and then wrong about also part of it. It was different than I thought it would be. And then you're just like finding out sort of what happened in this house and like what's going on in this house. And also there's like weird things happening in the house now. Like Vera keeps feeling her bed rattle. And like hearing noises and stuff. So it's like very classic haunted house things that are happening. But I want to say like the types of things that were happening and the way that it was written is in a way that I really enjoy. Like I really like House as a character almost, or like the idea of like a house being sentient a little bit. Like the best example I can give of this is not a horror book, but there's a book that I read earlier this year that I really, really loved and I keep thinking about, but it's called Saving Ruby King. And it's like a mystery, but it follows 3 generations of people in Chicago. And then in the current generation, Ruby King's mother has been murdered in her home and her dad is really abusive. So we think like the dad probably did it and she's trying to get out of that situation. But then we're doing like back whatevers of like hearing about what else happened with her family and stuff. And in that book, there's a church that is like a POV character because it like saw a lot of things happen, I guess. And that's always really interesting to me. Like the idea of like a building as sentient, I guess, is really interesting to me. And I feel like this book pulled it off really well with like the vibes of it. So I really, really loved it. I don't think it's going to be for everyone, but there you have it. The last book I have to read for this like little vlog of reading books with the word like in them is Machines Like Me by Ian McEwan, which I think I've already talked about, but it is an alternate history book set in the 80s with England losing the Falkland Wars. And I don't know much more about it than that. I can only assume that it's like got something to do with like AI, robots, something based on like the cover and the title, but I don't actually know that for a fact. So I'm going to read that today and I will let you know how we feel about it. And the other things I have to do today, I'm going to get my hair done today. I have a hair appointment, which I canceled I used to do midweek hair appointments. But because I moved jobs, my office is now farther away from the hair place. So it doesn't make as much sense to just do it in the middle of the week. And also I've just been really busy at work. So instead I've started doing Saturday appointments, which is today. So I'm going to go to my hair appointment. And then this afternoon or this evening, I'm going to Irish Fest with a friend of mine. So I'm very excited about that, which is in Crown Center here in Kansas City. It's a like cultural festival put on by, I don't know what the association is called, but my former coworker is actually one of the like head people of Irish Fest because she's Irish American and her family is like really involved in like the Irish community here, which I think is very cool. So I'm going to that. But other than that, those are my plans for the day. I will let you know when I have updates about Machines Like Me. If I have time, I will do a book update, but I don't know how that's gonna go. But I just wanted to let you know that the vlog is still kicking. I am still kicking. I read Just Like Me, or Just Like Home, yesterday. I started it, I guess, on Thursday, but I did finish it yesterday. And I had a really good time. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad that I read it. And I'm glad that I didn't let all of the negative reviews and the people saying that they DNF'd it at like 50%, at 70%, whatever. I think I was gonna say, a lot of people say this book is really slow. I found that very atmospheric. So I think it just sort of depends. You know your reading tastes better than I do, but for me, it worked. So yes, I will let you know when I have another update soon. Hi friends, it's now Sunday. I did go to Irish Fest last night. We went there around 5 and we did not leave until 2 in the morning because I have a friend who's like a former coworker of mine who is really involved in the Irish Festival. And so she basically, like, I texted her when I got there because she said she would give us like free drink tickets, and she did. And then she like introduced us to all the people who were on the board of Irish Fest, and like, I don't know, we just spent the whole night like hanging out with her and tagging along, and then they had like a little bit of an after party thing, so we went to that. It was very fun, but I'm exhausted today. Matt and I just got back from Home Depot, which was nice. We're looking for stuff for the house that we're moving into, because I think we need like a washer for it, so we need to buy that. And there's like some other stuff that we're looking at, but we're just like perusing right now. We're also perusing paint samples because we think we're gonna paint a little bit, so that's exciting. But I did read some of Machines Like Me by Ian McEwan, and I've decided I think I'm gonna DNF it. I'm about a third of the way in. It is, like I said, like that historical or alternate history thing. But the premise of the book is that like in this society there are humanoid robots that you can like buy, and I don't really know what they're supposed to do. Like, they don't really think they're for companionship, but I also don't really think they're for like chores or stuff. I don't know what they are, but there's like male robots and female robots, and the males are called Adam and the females are called Eve. A little on the nose, but fine. And when you get them, you're supposed to like input their personality. So like you pick what you want them to be like. And our main character is 32 and he's a 22-year-old neighbor who lives above him that he's like in love with. And so he is trying to convince her to do half of the, what is it called? Like input half of the personality to this robot guy. And she seems very disinterested. And the robot also is saying things like she's not trustworthy, she's a liar. Like there's weird stuff happening, but frankly, I don't really care. It's not really like hitting any spots for me that I really enjoy. I don't really love the way the narrator is narrating it, which no hate, no shade, whatever. But I just am not like loving it. So I feel like what's the point of continuing to read it? Also, it's technically September 1st and I kind of wanted to start with my Everbloom Academy stuff right now. So that's what I'm going to do after this. I'm going to pick my first reads and then start that vlog because I'm going to vlog weekly during that. But yeah, so I'm kind of bummed, but also like, I don't really care that much. Like this was kind of a pipe dream to do 3 books in 3 days anyways. So I didn't get to all of them and I'll be okay with that. But I am DNFing Machines Like Me. You can let me know in the comments down below if you think I should give it another shot. Like if you read it and really enjoyed it. I think it's fairly popular, but I just don't really think it's for me at this point. I don't know if I just don't like robots or what, but like I've read a couple things that have like robots, AI type stuff, and I've never really been into it. I guess the only things I can really think of are cozy sci-fi. So I read a Psalm for the Wild Built, didn't like it. And then I read In the Lives of Puppets. It was fine. Like I didn't really care about it one way or another. So maybe that's just something I'm learning about my taste, that I don't really love robot books, but we'll see. But yes, I'm exhausted. I'm about to, I think I'm gonna make like vegan chicken cutlets for dinner and do like chicken sandwiches, maybe chicken sandwiches. So I think I'm gonna do that. And in the meantime, I'm probably gonna listen to another audiobook. I'm gonna pick something out. I do have the 4th, well, you don't care about this. This will be for the next vlog. Oh my God. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this vlog. If you made it to this point, give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more content from me, you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I do try to post when I can. I would like to post 2 times a week. Realistically, it's like once a week, maybe. But that's what I'm trying to do right now. You can also comment down below, like I said, if you've read any of these books, how you felt about them. And I will see you in another video very soon.